In the heart of this town, where the blue-collar folks roll, you'll find a scene that makes the everyday soul.
Colleen, we've got to stop meeting this way. Seriously, it's only been 4 days since our last chat about bowler superstitions, and here you are again, back in the studio. I mean, not that I'm complaining, it's always a blast having you.
Rod, you say that every time. But hey, when the topics are this good, how can I say no? And I must admit, going from haunted bowling balls and lucky socks to, well, this. It's quite the pivot. But I'm ready for it. What wild piece of bowling history are you going to throw at me today?
Wild is an understatement, my friend. Today, we're taking a trip back to 1964, to an innovation that, honestly, blew my mind when I first read about it. We're talking about something called bola dance. Ever heard of it?
Bola dance. That sounds like something out of a futuristic movie from the past. Like, come on everybody, let's do the bola dance. No, I haven't, but my curiosity is definitely piqued. What in the world was it?
Okay, so picture this. It's 1964. Martin S. Dreyfus, a bowling lane operator in Durham, North Carolina, comes up with this incredible idea. He designs a sectional dance floor that can completely cover a bowling alley, transforming it into a huge dance hall overnight. Literally a bola dance.
Wait, so he would just put a floor over the lanes? Like a temporary floor? Wow. That's really something, especially for 1964. I'm imagining like a full-on ballroom scene happening where moments before people were throwing strikes.
Exactly. That's the vision. Dreyfus himself said it would make a bowling alley, which he considered a single-purpose building, into a multi-purpose building overnight. And he debuted it at his own College Plaza Lanes on February 21st, 1964, with a show and a dance. Talk about an entrepreneur.
I mean, that's incredibly forward-thinking. Today we see luxury bowling centers, like the ones Murray Company builds, where it's not just about bowling. It's an entertainment lounge, a restaurant, a bar. They have live music sometimes, special events. This bola dances sounds like a direct ancestor to that whole concept.
You hit the nail on the head, Colleen. That's precisely why I wanted to talk about it. It's a clear forerunner to today's luxury bowling centers. But let's dig into the actual mechanics for a second, because that's where it gets even more fascinating. The article mentions it was about 150 sections of 5/8" thick plyboard supported by 2x4s. Each section was about 8 by 12 feet and weighed around 150 pounds.
150 pounds per section? That's a lot of weight. And 150 sections? So you're looking at what, 22,500 pounds of flooring total, plus the support structures? That's quite an undertaking to install. I'm picturing a lot of really strong guys doing some heavy lifting.
Oh, absolutely. And Dreyfus noted that initially it would take several days to install. But once they drilled the holes and placed the connecting bolts, he estimated they could put the complete floor down in 3 or 4 hours, which for something of that scale is pretty impressive if you think about it.
3 or 4 hours is fast. They must have had a really efficient system for assembly, and it sounds like it was quite robust too. The article said 5 men jumped up and down on it to test its weight-bearing ability, and it just had normal resiliency. So it wasn't just a flimsy cover, it was a proper dance floor.
It makes me think of my rent-a-lane portable bowling lanes, actually. Setting those up is a whole process, getting the sections just right, making sure everything aligns. But that's for a single lane, maybe 2. This bola dance, this retractable floor, so to speak, was on a much, much larger and more physically demanding installation scale. It's almost like the inverse. Instead of bringing the bowling to an event, they brought an event to the bowling.
That's a great comparison, Rod, and it really highlights the genius of Dreyfus's thinking. He wasn't just thinking about a cool gadget, he was thinking about a business solution. He openly stated that bowling had its peaks and dips, like other sports, and this new flooring would allow another use to take up the financial slack during those slower times. That's brilliant.
Absolutely. It wasn't just about novelty, it was about diversifying revenue streams, which is something every business owner dreams of. And he had another genius marketing angle too. He said that by bringing people to a dance and a floor show at the bowling alleys, it would automatically acquaint them more with the facilities and likely bring them back to do some bowling.
Oh, that's pure marketing gold. Come for the dance, stay for the bowling. Or, come for the dance, realize how cool this place is, and then come back next week to bowl. It's essentially what modern luxury bowling centers do. They create an environment that's appealing for multiple activities, so people spend more time and money there. It's an ecosystem of entertainment.
Exactly. Think about establishments today like those fantastic Murray installations. They don't just have bowling, they have laser tag, arcade games, gourmet food, craft beer. It's about offering a comprehensive entertainment experience. Dreyfus was tapping into that long before it became a widespread concept. He even pointed out that all the conveniences already available in the alleys, like restrooms and concessions, made them natural for using them for this purpose.
And the sheer scale. He estimated that over 2,000 persons could attend a dance in a standard 24-lane establishment with the bowl dance floor. That's a massive event space. I mean, it goes from a niche sports venue to a major community gathering place. It's a complete transformation.
It is. And he even had an eye on the bigger picture. He operated another alley in Columbia, South Carolina, and said the reception in Durham would determine whether he'd try to put it on the market. He declined to state the initial cost publicly, but stressed it can be a moneymaker and more than pay for itself. He really saw the commercial potential.
He understood the value proposition. It's not just an expense, it's an investment that can generate significant returns. I wonder why it didn't become more widespread. Was it the labor involved in installation, even the quick version? Or perhaps the storage of 150 heavy sections of flooring?
That's a great question, Colleen. I've often wondered that myself. While 3 or 4 hours is fast, it still requires a crew of 5 strong men, as the article implies, and dedicated storage space for all those sections. Imagine the logistics for a 24-lane center. That's a lot of real estate just for storing a dance floor.
Yeah, and you'd need the staff availability to do that setup and breakdown, probably late at night or early in the morning, which adds to operational costs. But still, the idea itself is so compelling. I mean, we're talking about it almost 60 years later.
It absolutely is. And it makes me think about how innovation, even if it doesn't become the global standard, can still influence future trends. Dreyfus's bowl dance concept clearly planted a seed. It showed that a bowling alley didn't have to be just a bowling alley. It could be an adaptable, dynamic entertainment hub.
It really highlights that forward-thinking mindset. He saw beyond the traditional use of the space and imagined something bigger, something more versatile. And that's what drives progress in any industry, isn't it? Someone daring to ask, what else could this be?
Precisely. It's a testament to ingenuity and a great reminder that some of the new concepts we see today, like these incredible luxury bowling centers, often have roots in brilliant, yet perhaps unsung, innovations from the past. The bowl dance was a pioneer without a doubt.
I'm genuinely impressed. From bowling superstitions to groundbreaking mid-century multi-purpose venues, you really keep me on my toes, Rod. This was a fascinating dive into bowling's entrepreneurial spirit. I love seeing how these ideas evolve over time.
Right? It's not just about the game itself, but the entire culture and business that surrounds it. And Colleen, once again, you've been a fantastic guest, offering such great insights. It's always a pleasure.
The pleasure's all mine, Rod. Thanks for having me back. Maybe next time we'll talk about bowling in space? Who knows with you?
Hey, don't give me any ideas. A huge thanks to Colleen for joining us, and to all of you for listening. We'll catch you next time with more unique stories from the world of bowling.
So next time you're looking to roll with your mates, know the joy of bowling celebrates all fates, with every strike ringing out like a song in this blue-collar game. You know we all belong. You know we all belong.
From the year 1986 in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Cook tops Ellenberg for U.S. Open title. Steve Cook of Roseville, California, knocked off top-seeded Frank Ellenberg of Mesa, Arizona, 245 to 211, in the title game Saturday of the $200,000 Bowling Proprietors Association of America U.S. Open. Cook, 6 feet 7 and 260 pounds, won the Battle of the Giants over the 6'6" Ellenberg with a string of 5 strikes late in the match. It was the 9th career Professional Bowlers Association title for Cook, but the first in singles competition since the 1983 Touring Players Championship. "I used to not get so nervous on TV," said Cook, who collected $38,000 for the victory. "But after a while you start to wonder if you'll ever win again." Cook and brother-in-law Mike Albee did team up to capture the Showboat PBA Doubles Classic in Las Vegas last year, but Cook had finished second 4 times since his TPC win. David Ozio of Vidor, Texas, who was trying for his 2nd consecutive title, opened the nationally televised finals with high-scoring victories over Del Ballard Jr. of Richardson, Texas, and Brian Voss of Tacoma, Washington. Ozio edged Ballard 240 to 235 and stopped Voss 247 to 236. But Cook had too much firepower for Ozio to handle, eliminating the Texan 222 to 205. Ozio, who was making his 3rd appearance in the finals in the last 4 tournaments, took the money lead with his $11,000 payday. His earnings for 1986 total $49,075. From the year 1990 in the Star Gazette. Traditional 10-pin game, not only way to bowl. When one thinks of bowling, the game most often thought of is the traditional game of 10 pins. But there are several variations of the game which haven't gone unnoticed, particularly in the northeastern United States, where candlepins is the name of the game. Candlepin bowling can be traced back to the late 1800s in Worcester, Massachusetts. It is played with a ball that fits in the palm of your hand to knock down taller and thinner pins than the ones we're used to. You also get 3 attempts to knock down the pins, and fallen pins are not cleared away between shots. Sounds easy, right? Well, consider that a 200 average is considered good for the traditional 10-pin bowler, while a professional candlepin player averages between 125 and 130. The Candlepin Bowling Tour is as big an attraction in the New England area as the Professional Bowlers Tour is across the rest of the nation. Why is candlepin bowling so popular? Mainly because it is a sport that appeals to a broad spectrum of people. It's also a challenge for those looking for a sport that takes some practice to get better at. It's also fun for those looking for a recreational sport. There's also the fact that lane condition controversies rarely arise. Candlepin leagues are as strong as 10-pin leagues. The Massachusetts Bowling Association estimates that there are more than 250,000 candlepin league bowlers in eastern Massachusetts, and that the MBA state championship draws more than 10,000 participants who compete for prize money in excess of $100,000 over its 6-week run. From the midweek from the year 2022. Sycamore student crowned Pro Bowlers Junior champ. Landon Jordan of Sycamore became the 2022 Professional Bowlers Association Junior National Champion. He was recognized by the Sycamore City Council during its meeting February 7. City officials said Landon will get his own honorary street sign that will recognize his achievement. "I want to keep working hard, hopefully bowl in college, and make it to the pros one day," Jordan said. Jordan, 15, and 9 other youth bowlers hit the lanes for 10 games of round-robin match play January 28. At the conclusion of the 10 games, the top 4 bowlers with the most pins advanced to a stepladder finals, with a chance to capture the junior championship and bowl on national TV on Fox Sports 1. The two-handed Sycamore team notched the 2nd seed after the 10 games, needing to win only 1 match to make his TV debut. Jordan then defeated Randall Dunbar 255 to 224, advancing him to the finals against the tournament leader Eric Jones. In the title match, Jordan and Jones combined for 16 strikes. Jones missed a 247 spare in his final frame, leaving the door open for Jordan, who needed only 4 pins for the victory. Jordan rolled a strike to win 257 to 225. Jordan earned a $16,000 SMART scholarship. From the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette from the year 1997. Still playing pudgy pins. Let's take a trip down the memory lanes of rubber band bowling with Chet Fossey, who has been knocking down those pudgy pins for the better part of the past 5 decades. He was there in the sport's heyday, before the 10-pin bowlers started to take over in the late 1950s. Now, Fossey, 59, is among a fading breed of bowlers who prefer duck pins to the big pins. There really isn't much of a new group out there that I see, says Fossey, who inherited his passion for the game from his dad, who used to take him to the Emerson Lanes and Auditorium in East Liberty when he was 8 years old. Fossey, a lawyer and past president of the Quaker Valley School Board, lives in Sewickley and bowls twice a week at the Edgeworth Club. His 150 average qualifies him as one of the best duckpin bowlers in western Pennsylvania, the last bastion of rubber band duckpins in the country. When I started, you had to search high and low to find a 10-pin alley around here, he said. Duckpins were all over the place. It's almost impossible to find duckpins today. Almost all duckpin bowling can be found at private clubs or in church basements. Duckpins can be very frustrating, said Fossey, whose average was as high as 172 when he bowled more frequently a few years ago. You can hit the head pin and get 2 pins. That'll drive you nuts. Fossey tried the 10 pins for a while, but he always came back to his first love, duck pins. Maybe it's the challenge, he says with a smile. I don't know. There's something charming about those little pins. It's a spare game because you can't string together strikes. The duckpin ball, which doesn't have holes, fits in the palm of the hand of an average-sized adult and can either be tossed with a backhanded motion or underhand with heavy spin to make it hook. It's still a question of timing, rhythm, and hitting your mark, Fossey said. From the year 1995 in the Hamilton Spectator. Even modest bowling ball goes high-tech. Does the world need a better bowling ball? Bill Wasserberger thinks so. A bowling ball designer for Brunswick Corporation, the leading bowling ball manufacturer in the United States, Mr. Wasserberger talks enthusiastically about his work. This line shows the radius of gyration, he says, pointing to a computer screen. Radius of gyration, he adds helpfully, is the rotational equivalent of mass. Simply speaking, he is talking about spin, and spin, in his line of work, is of striking importance. Mr. Wasserberger, a mechanical engineer, works in a spare office just off the production floor of Brunswick's Muskegon, Michigan, bowling ball factory, the world's largest. Computer-assisted design and customized resins let him manipulate such arcane bowling ball properties as hook potential, back end, and track flare. Mass expresses an object's resistance to change in its motion, he explains. So a ball with a high radius of gyration is hard to initially get spinning. Designing balls is the only job Mr. Wasserberger, 36, has held since graduating from Lawrence Technological University in suburban Detroit. New high-tech balls aimed at enhancing performance under different lane conditions are all the rage in bowling ball circles. For years, bowling balls were made of heavy rubber around a spherical core of dense filler. More recently, polyester or urethane plastic succeeded rubber. From the Miami Herald from the year 1987. Williams's 11 strikes top Holman in final. Walter Ray Williams, Jr., improving with each shot, mowed down 4 of the biggest names in bowling Saturday to win the $150,000 Miller Lite Classic at Don Carter's Kendall Lanes. Williams, who won his first 3 titles last season to earn 1986 Bowler of the Year honors, captured the $27,000 first prize by beating, in order, 1. U.S. Open champion Del Ballard 228 to 161, 2. 1985 Bowler of the Year Mike Albee 226 to 217, 3. Defending champion Dave Ozio 236 to 205, and 4. 20-time tour champion Marshall Holman 277 to 205. Williams rolled 7 strikes against Ballard, 6 against Albee, 7 against Ozio, and an amazing 11 against Holman. I got some lucky breaks along the line and benefited when my opponents got some bad breaks, Williams said. Although the scores may not indicate it, all 4 matches were close through the opening frames. Williams held a 1-pin lead when Ballard left the 2-8-10 split in the 7th frame. Albee held a 10-pin lead through 6 frames, but then ran into trouble with the corner pins. Ozio was down by 10 pins when he left the 4-6-7-9-10 Greek Church in the 8th frame, and Holman was only 4 back when he left the 1-2-4-6-10 washout in the 7th frame. We all bowled real well through the opening frames, but we gave Walter a break. He never looked back, said Holman, who is 0-5 in TV appearances at Kendall Lanes, including 4 as the top-seeded bowler. The lanes were tightening up down the lane as the oil carried down, and all the right-handers who hooked the ball considerably more than Walter were trying to throw the ball slower. We were throwing softer than normal so that we could get the ball to kick back into the pocket. It worked early in the final game as Holman matched Williams's opening 5 strikes with a 3-bagger, a 10-pin spare, and then 2 more strikes. That's when the ball got away from Holman, and so did the match. I'm a good bowler throwing it slow, but I'm a great bowler when I can throw it hard, said Holman. It's difficult to go against something that is natural to you. When you are trying to improvise, you have to be better than ever. Holman then praised Albee, the only left-hander in the finals. Mike could have won that match against Walter if he had carried those corner pins on the left lane, which was lane 13, Holman said. While Ballard, Ozio, and Holman were trying to slow down their balls, Williams was concentrating on keeping his speed up while rolling the ball up the 5th board. When I kept my speed up, it was just a matter of getting all 10 pins down with 1 ball, said Williams, who has a degree in physics from Cal State Poly, Pomona. The more I bowled, the more comfortable I felt with the shot and the better I executed. Williams actually prefers horseshoes. He's a 4-time national champion to bowling. But there's better money in bowling, he said. He proved as much last year by earning $145,550. By winning Saturday, Williams captures the first leg of the $1 million Light Slam, which will go to any bowler that can win Miller titles in Miami, Milwaukee, and Cleveland. Although it's a long shot, I feel good about my chances, said Williams. I made the top 5, the TV show, last year in Milwaukee, and I can bowl well in Cleveland if I execute. He executed with his Ebonite Firebolt ball last week, rolling a 300 Wednesday night, a 298 Friday night, and then the 277 Saturday afternoon. All the bowlers on the tour are tough, said Williams. You just have to hope you bowl well and get lucky. Today I beat one of the greatest bowlers in the world, Holman, in the final. Hopefully one day I'll be considered one of the greatest bowlers in the world, but I have a long way to go. Here's another from the Dr. X Bowling Clinic from the year 1975 in the Press Democrat. Bowling Tips. Spot Bowling by Don Carter. I have found bowlers who use the spot system all right, but only halfway. They sight in on a certain arrow or board on the lane and aim the ball at it, but instead of walking toward their spot, they walk toward the pocket. By doing this, they destroy the natural flow of the arm swing. If you're shooting at a spot, point your feet at it and go. From the year 1992 in the Columbian. Seattle bowler prevails. Bruce Hamilton of Seattle won his first Professional Bowlers Association title Saturday when he beat Amleto Monicelli of Venezuela 224 to 180 in the final of the $200,000 True Value Open in Peoria, Illinois. Hamilton earned the $40,000 top prize and a berth in the Firestone Tournament of Champions. The final game was tied through 6 frames before Hamilton took the lead for good, as Monicelli left the 4-7-10 split and failed to convert. From the year 1996 in the Tulsa World. Coburn Carroll scores win at LPBT Claremore Classic. Anyone who doesn't believe in women's intuition might want to meet pro bowler Cindy Coburn Carroll. The 17-year veteran had a strong feeling Thursday night would be her night. She was right. Her omens included the initials of a horse used in the opening promotion, CC. Then there was the date. Coburn Carroll was going for her 15th title on February 15th. And finally, the last time she had won a tournament was the week after Jackie Sellers had won. Sellers won the Clabber Girl title last week in Terre Haute, Indiana. With all that in mind, Coburn Carroll thought she had a chance. She waited for an opening against tournament leader Tish Johnson, then took advantage of it to win the Ladies Pro Bowlers Tour $65,000 Claremore Classic at Cedar Lanes. The finals, televised by ESPN, will be broadcast at 11:30 p.m. Friday. It was Coburn Carroll's first tournament victory since 1992 and earned the Buffalo, New York resident $9,000. "I'm thrilled," Coburn Carroll said. "It's been a long time. I was pretty confident. There were a lot of omens." Johnson, the 1995 LPBT Player of the Year, started off the championship with 5 consecutive strikes. She ran into trouble, though, in the 6th frame, leaving the number 4 pin. Johnson spared in the 7th, but left the 3-7 split in the 8th. That was the opening Coburn Carroll needed. Coburn Carroll, meanwhile, struggled early, leaving the 10 pin in the 2nd. Strikes in the 3rd and 4th frame, followed by a spare in the 5th and a strike in the 6th, allowed her to climb back into the match. "I just waited for something to happen," said Coburn Carroll, who admitted to having a wealth of confidence in her first TV final since 1994. Coburn Carroll then remembered some advice from her husband, Jerry. "He's a fiery competitor," she said, "and he told me to go for the kill." Strikes in the 8th and 9th frames gave Coburn Carroll a 182 to 180 advantage. Then opened the 10th frame with a strike before leaving the 6th pin. Still, the pressure was on Johnson. The number 2 career earnings player needed 2 strikes and a spare to win. She didn't get them. Johnson left the 10 pin in the 9th frame, then spared to open the 10th. "I had a pretty good shot all night," said Coburn Carroll, whose mother, Doris, is in the WIBC Hall of Fame. "It's taken me a long time to get my game under control. I was having a hard time adjusting to the speed of the new resin balls. I kept wanting to make hand adjustments." Coburn Carroll advanced to the championship match with a 213 to 198 win over Lisa Wagner in Game 3 and a 203 to 189 victory over Dee Davidson in Game 2. Davidson earned the right to face Coburn Carroll after she defeated Robin Romeo 220 to 203.
Well, I guess we've come to the end and we'll be wrapping it up for today. Thanks for stopping by and tuning in. As usual, if you haven't already done so and would like to be notified when future videos become available and are published, feel free to hit the subscribe button in the lower right corner of the videos or YouTube video screen. Have a great week, and I look forward to seeing everyone on the upcoming Thursday or Friday. Take care.